All right, thank you so much for joining us on our 2015 Ottawa Bluesfest review show. This is our third annual, so we're pretty pumped about it this year. Very excited to have Aidan back from the Ottawa Sun. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we have Ellie from Eventful Capital once again, so we
Hello.
saw you a lot at the festival. And Julie from Couch Assassin, where I saw you a lot at the festival as well.
You did. Thanks for having me.
So yeah, we're here on a Tuesday night. It's good to finally have some enjoyment of over the past 11 days. It's been a crazy 11 days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed your Monday nights. Maybe did some laundry and cleaning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
And
positively no music.
No.
At all. Just silence.
Wow.
Exactly, and I have to get ready for Thursday. I leave for way home, so I'm going right back into music festival mode.
Awesome.
So I'm going to enjoy 3 nights of calm and then go in. So, of course, Lunch Out Loud Ottawa, the podcast, we talk to the people, places, events, and music that make this city of Ottawa the incredible city that it is. I know a lot of people complain in this city about not having things to do, boring people, boring this, boring that. But we've done 125 episodes on this show and talking to incredible people that have worked in the government, quit government, started their own jobs, passionate people in this city, employing people. So, and we definitely prove that this city is an incredible city and there's so many things to do. And of course, one of my favorite things is Bluesfest. So that's why thank you, Bluesfest, for supplying us tickets to go and witness this amazing time of the year. I hope a lot of people got out there this year. If you didn't like country music, if you didn't like other types of music, there's
stuff for everyone.
There's three other stages.
Despite all the complaints this year, I mean, it's safe to say it was an eclectic lineup. There was a bit of something for everyone, so I think everyone found their pleasure.
And I loved it. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh no, this." When they saw the initial lineup, "Oh no, this lineup sucks." And I guess we're just expecting like the greatest things of all time every single year, and it's hard for Mark to outdo himself every year. But there's some incredible acts that I've never heard of before, and then just went, "Holy shit, these guys are going to be awesome."
Yeah.
They're added to my YouTube playlist. I download them, and I look forward to seeing them in Montreal or hopefully Ottawa when we get a concert stage somewhere in the future. So the format tonight, we're going to go through the days and talk about the days, and hopefully you can reminisce if you're listening to this on your drive, on the bus, wherever, reminisce of these past few days and listen to this in the future and all that kind of thing. So let's kick her off with the special Wednesday night. I know it was just basically on the main stage. There's only one stage.
That's right.
With Jack U and Diplo and Skrillex bringing their band of merry gentlemen. I wonder where they are now. I don't know.
Somewhere across Canada.
They're on a train.
They're on a train. So that'd be a fun party.
They kicked off their Full Flex Express tour at Bluesfest this year, and then we're going across Canada.
Canada.
Ottawa Bluesfest was their first stop. Personally, myself, I had the chance that night to catch Tycho, which I absolutely loved. It was a discovery for me. I had heard of them a little bit here and there, but I really enjoy their ambient, post-rock, electronic, and chill-out style.
And they were before Keisha?
They were before
so
Keisha.
I just missed that, yeah.
Or Keisha. I don't know.
Keisha, not sure how you
Kezia
pronounce
or
Kezia,
Kezia.
there's multiple pronunciations to her name. So that set off the festival really nicely for me, and afterwards was able to catch A$AP Ferg. For a hip-hop head like myself, that was a pretty dope occasion. And unfortunately, I didn't stay for the rest of the evening, as I had seen Skrillex and Diplo before, so it was sort of a been there, done that type of thing for me. So
I didn't actually see them DJing at any point. I think they're. It looked like they were just pressing play on a.
They were just taking turns, like standing up on the console and like waving their big Jack U flag, and
It was a nice little show.
It was a big show. But yeah, no, I'd say the same. Tycho for me, San Francisco band, I believe.
Yeah.
And they actually played real instruments, which
It was a
really
full
cool.
piece. Okay, I didn't know
that.
that.
And the band right before them as well, called 100 Waters. They were, I think they're kind of like the East Coast version of Tycho. I don't know exactly where they're from, but seem to remember they're somewhere in the East Coast. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, another band that uses real instruments, but a really chill kind of electronic type vibe as well.
Darn.
So, yeah, so there actually were real instruments somewhere on that train that they managed to take out. So yeah.
ASAP Ferg I thought was quite interesting. That was an interesting kind of rap group. I like all the rap this year. There was so many different variances. This rap is very eclectic.
From the old school to the new school, there was a bit of everything for all the different types of hip hop out there. So
we missed De La Soul though for the real old school fans.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, we'll get to that one.
A big disappointment.
Yeah. We'll get to that one shortly. And then Thursday, we
Country Night, Silver Bullet Thursday.
Thursday was Silver Bullet Thursday. Why is it called Silver Bullet Thursday?
Isn't that that's like the old Coors Light thing?
Is it?
For country?
I'm dating myself.
Ah.
Yeah, apparently Thursday night is Silver Bullet Thursday. So there's something, it's like when you crank up the Bob Seger and drink Coors Light, apparently.
So Thursday, I was on the Canadian stage the whole night.
It seemed to be, if you check out both Thursdays, they're both like loaded with country. So.
And Thursday,
maybe
loaded with country and loaded with local acts on the Canadian stage.
That's right,
yeah. Canadian stage was definitely the place to be.
You could basically just park yourself at that stage the entire festival. You have a good festival.
100%.
Yeah, personally, that's probably where I spent most of my time. Yeah. Amazing bands, Canadian and not Canadian, but a great setting. And
it's great to see Black Denim out there at 7 to 8
Black Denim
8 p.m.
on Thursday really outdid themselves, I found. They gave an outstanding performance, and the time slot was perfect. People were already arriving for later acts, Bobby Bazzini as well as Charles Bradley. So it gave them a great audience. People were really receptive to their set. The interaction between the band and the crowd was fantastic, I found. And lead man Kenny Precise Creole has a great charisma and energy, and fed off really well with the crowd.
I think a lot of crowd was like, "Wow, these guys are from Ottawa." I know some people that knew I wasn't big fans of them. Well, I'm big fans of them, but they didn't know how big of fans. And they came up to me and said, "Did you see Black Denim?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And they're like, "Yeah, I'll try to buy the CD, but it was sold out." So that's
great.
good. This is why we do this festival.
Fantastic.
This is why we love to see. We want to see them on the big stage. How is the main stage then?
Well, see, now that's the thing. You guys get to go to all the eclectic things, and you get to do all the boutique-y things, and I have to write for the masses. So I have to go to the big stages, and I have to check out all the headliners and stuff. It was, I'm not a big bro country guy. Jason Aldean was the headliner.
Right.
And I don't know really why they call that country music anymore, except for the Stetson. That was about the only defining feature that would have said it was country. Yeah, no, it's like I wrote in the review. It's like this is basically they've learned all the cliches from the '80s hair metal bands, and they've just thrown them up and called it new country, right? So right down to the flaming pyro, the big Def Leppard guitars, the chicks in skimpy outfits on the screen. And I think I wrote in the review, except like. It looks just like an 80s hair metal video, except the girls, instead of being dressed in like tight black leather, are now dressed in cut-off denims. That's basically it. So that's the only difference, really. Other than that, it's just it's like.
But people are having fun out there.
Poison or Warrant or something like that with a bit of country twang.
But people were having fun out there.
Of course, they're having fun. They're going to people who country music is a huge draw.
Yes,
we know the town that we're in.
Yeah.
The guy's first song in the set was called Hicktown.
Amazing.
I think I wrote in the review that if he was looking for an audience that he wanted that could easily relate to a song called Hicktown, that he came to the right place. No, not to diss the town that we live in, but country's huge here. And the other thing that I kind of mentioned in that review was that it's no longer about the yokels in the back 40. Country music has come downtown. There are people that love it. They go out to see it, and that's partially because of the presentation of it now. It's no longer sort of the Grand Ole Opry type stuff. It's big production, big pyro, big guitars, big screens. Everything about country now is big. So it was a big show. Wasn't crazy about the music. A good mention though to Kira Isabella. She's a local girl, made good. She started off in the sort of the Kiwanis Idol, Ottawa Idol thing. and she's made a career for herself. She opened up on the big stage for Jason Aldean, and she held her own.
Was there a lot of people out there for that?
Absolutely, yeah. It was packed. And she had a huge, very young, very female following right up at the front. They were singing along to all of her lyrics and everything. So it was really nice experience for her, and nice for everybody.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. And Charles Bradley was the typical amazing self as well.
He's so charming, and the energy and the love that he just exudes.
Oh yeah, he's so passionate.
So
very
fun.
sexual.
The moves. I was surprised and shocked. And
73 years old.
Yeah.
He still got it.
Still got it.
The man's got tons of talent. So that was.
I guess if you start your career as a James Brown impersonator.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Is that how you? Okay, so that makes sense.
He was actually a homeless man, I believe, on the streets of Brooklyn.
Oh, come on.
And he was doing James Brown impersonations until the right person came across him from a record label and said, "You need to record an album."
Yeah.
So that's an incredible story. And isn't there a movie based on this kind of thing?
Perhaps, I'm not.
I'm
sure
probably just making that up.
Let's make that.
It would make sense to have one. Definitely, it's an incredible story.
Yeah. All right, so that's our Thursday, which leads us right into our Kanye West night, which lived up to the hype. That was, I think, the most packed I've ever seen it, other than Kiss. But I was slightly intoxicated for Kiss, and I wasn't looking at the crowd. So
I believe Kanye was more packed with 30,000 people on site. It definitely felt like there was hardly any room to move or go anywhere, even from the back.
Yeah.
I myself, I'm a bit indifferent when it comes to him personally. I used to really appreciate his stuff, and he lost me after my Dark Twisted Fantasy. I still was there to see the spectacle of it all, and stuck around for the first half hour, and then had my fair share. So,
I was definitely disappointed because I expected more of a spectacle. I expected more visuals. I expected more ranting. I expected more, and I'm happy I went because I could say I was there, but overall, I think he delivered a solid performance, but nothing fantastic or outstanding.
Wow.
I love that stage. I love that lighting that he had. I thought that was amazing, but I wish that the XX used that lighting, because that lighting just seems like the XX. I don't know. That's one band I want to see at Bluesfest coming up in the future. But no, I wasn't the most impressed with the Kanye West.
It's the problem is it's sort of a self-fulfilling thing, is that it's like there's so much hype because he keeps hyping himself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was one quote that I wrote down saying, he's saying that there's a lot of people out there who do music, but there's only one Kanye West. And
that's right.
He let us know that so many times. I mean, he was telling us at one point.
Oh yeah, you'll remember this for the rest of your life.
I want you to tell your children that you were here. I want you to tell your children this. I'm like, you know what? Like, you're good. You're not God's gift to music. You're a good, solid performer. It was a good hip hop show. But you know what? Like, I gotta say, I actually preferred Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're not even the best Chicago-born rapper at Bluesfest that day, how can you say that you're the best thing in music? So you got to back it up.
I have to agree with that fully. I really enjoyed Chance the Rapper's set. I didn't know him very much, had heard really positive things about him, and was curious to check him out, and he delivered.
Absolutely.
It was a great performance. It was fun. He's got great stage presence. He knows how to interact with the crowd. I think that's a really, really important factor. So kudos to Chance the Rapper.
And it wasn't just all about him. That was the thing. He really paid tribute. He knew the place that he was in. He paid a lot of tribute to the artists that have been on that stage before. But also, I mean, he had a great band. He had again, live instruments. He had a trumpet player.
That's right.
Playing like these jazz licks.
Yeah.
Straight up, like acid jazz stuff, like early Roots stuff. Like really good Roots stuff.
Yeah.
And he seems to be like he's very highly educated, obviously, musically educated, and and he absolutely delivered a fantastic show. And I just wanted more. And then by the end of Kanye, I was like, no, I've had enough.
Yeah,
you're supposed to leave them wanting more.
Right.
And for me, Kanye just
There was a lot of other great acts that played on the Friday, including Soul Jazz Orchestra. So it was really fun to see those guys play live again at the Monster stage.
I found it very interesting that Mark had the Soul Jazz Orchestra and Jungle by Night at the same time.
Yes. Well, I was able
similar
to
party
catch
bands.
I was able to catch both those bands, and Jungle by